Ethan Walker, a 20-year-old journalism student from Portland, Oregon, arrived in the quiet town of Willow Creek to document stories of haunted places, but what he didn't expect was to fall hopelessly in love with a woman he met outside an abandoned Victorian house covered in ivy and silence. Her name was Madeline Hayes, 35, elegant and timeless, and she told him she used to live there before tragedy struck. She claimed the house took everything from her. Ethan, mesmerized by her voice, her eyes, her sadness, visited her every day for 2 weeks, and each time they met near the same broken gate, walking under fogged skies, she shared more stories about her late husband, the rumors of madness, and how she could never leave until someone believed her. No one else in town had ever seen her, not even Mrs. Harper, the neighbor who lived across for 40 years, who told Ethan the real Madeline Hayes had died in that house 15 years ago, pushed from the attic by her jealous, paranoid husband, who later turned the gun on himself. At first, Ethan laughed off the warning, but his laughter faded the moment he saw a newspaper article in the town archives showing the same woman he had kissed just 3 nights ago, the same woman he held under the moonlight with the caption, "Victim, Madeline Hayes, age 35, died 2009. Still shaken, he returned to the house one last time to confront her, but this time when he stepped inside, the doors locked behind him, the air turned icy, and he heard her voice from upstairs, soft and pleading, "Now you know, so you can't leave me." And in that moment, every mirror in the house cracked simultaneously. Days later, local Sheriff Donnelly found Ethan's camera on the front porch, playing a recording of him dancing alone in the empty hallway, laughing, whispering, "I love you too, Maddie," though no one was with him. And even now, residents of Willow Creek say on cold nights, if you pass by that house, you can still hear a boy's voice begging to be let go, and a woman's whisper in return, "Stay forever." A few months after Ethan's disappearance, the town of Willow Creek started noticing strange occurrences. The old Victorian house on Willow Creek Road stood silent, but the whispers had begun again. Those who dared to go near the house at night spoke of seeing a boy standing at the window, staring out, his eyes hollow and empty. Ethan's eyes, they said. Then, there were the whispers of a woman's voice calling out in the fog, pleading, "I need him. I need him." Local historian Sarah Greene, who had always been skeptical of the town's ghost stories, found herself visiting the house, driven by an unexplainable pull. As she stepped into the decaying halls, the same cold, oppressive air surrounded her, and she heard footsteps behind her. She turned to find nothing but shadows. But then, in the attic, she discovered an old journal, Madeline's journal. The pages were filled with madness, heartbreak, and the desperate cries of a woman who had tried to find peace in the afterlife, but could not. With every page she read, the house seemed to come alive. Whispers grew louder, and the walls seemed to close in. Sarah wasn't alone anymore. She felt Ethan's presence, felt his hand brush her shoulder. And then she heard it, a voice she knew too well, a whisper of love, followed by the chilling words, "Stay with me, Sarah, forever." After Ethan's disappearance, the town of Willow Creek fell silent. The only thing that haunted the town was the old Victorian mansion at the end of Willow Creek Road. Over the years, it became a legend, the house where Ethan Walker vanished without a trace. But there were rumors that lingered, of strange occurrences that no one dared to talk about. Sarah Greene, a local historian, had grown up hearing the stories. She had always dismissed them as nothing more than ghost tales, until one stormy night, when the wind howled through the empty streets, and she found herself drawn to the house, unable to resist. She knew Ethan's story. She had read the newspaper articles, listened to the whispers of the townsfolk, and yet, something felt unfinished. She needed answers. As she approached the mansion, the air around her grew thick with dread. The wind stopped, and an unnatural silence settled over the place. The gates creaked open by themselves. She stepped inside, her heart pounding. The house seemed to watch her, as though it was waiting. The walls, covered in dust and memories, whisper her name. Sarah? Sarah. It was then she saw him, a figure in the attic, staring out of the window.
"Ethan,"
but his eyes were empty, hollow, like a man long lost. His voice echoed in the silence. "Sarah, you shouldn't have come." Suddenly, she heard a voice behind her, low, chilling, and familiar. Madeline Hayes. She had known about Madeline's death, how her husband had killed her, but it never seemed real until now. "I've been waiting," Madeline's voice came, soft yet commanding, "for someone to understand." Sarah turned to find Madeline standing in the doorway, her body translucent, her eyes filled with sorrow. "Ethan was never meant to leave," she said. "Neither was I. But we're trapped now, trapped in this house forever." The house groaned around them, the lights flickering. Sarah felt a cold chill brush her spine. As Madeline approached her, the temperature dropped even further, and Sarah could see her breath in the air. "You'll never escape," Madeline whispered. "None of us ever will." Sarah started to run, but the house had a mind of its own. The doors slammed shut, trapping her inside. The walls seemed to close in, and the floor creaked under her feet. The windows were covered with shadows, and the once clear path she had entered through now led to nothing but darkness. She tried to find her way out, but the house twisted itself into a labyrinth. The air grew heavier, suffocating, and then she heard it. The sound of Ethan's voice again, now softer, almost like a plea. "Sarah, please. Let me go. You have to leave now." Confused and terrified, she ran toward the attic, where she first saw him. There, lying on the dusty floor, was a small, old photograph of Ethan and Madeline, smiling together. But there was something strange. In the background, a shadow loomed, a dark figure with hollow eyes, a shadow that looked like Ethan's but was not. Just as she touched the photograph, the house shook. A loud bang echoed through the walls. The ground beneath her feet cracked open, revealing a long-forgotten basement. A cold wind rushed from the depths. The shadow in the photograph moved. It was Ethan's true spirit, not trapped with Madeline, but consumed by the evil that had taken over the house. The darkness of the curse had twisted him, making him the very thing that had haunted the house all along. With a final scream, Sarah fell into the basement. The doors slammed shut, and silence took over. The next morning, the sheriff, Dinelli, arrived to investigate. The town had heard nothing from Sarah Greene in days. All that was found was a torn photograph of Ethan and Madeline, with one word written in the corner.